Hello and welcome to Overwatch. Yes, Overwatch. I have been very lucky over the past weekend, and I have been playing the poop out of this. I had an invite for the weekend stress test. Unfortunately, I was not lucky enough for the full beta invite, but I have to tell you, I'm still happy I got to do this. This game is something else. It's got some of the charm that you'd expect from TF2, except it's a lot more. I actually like the mechanics of it better. It plays better for me, if it makes any sense. Not to mention the game itself just looks fantastic, and the variety of heroes is just awesome. For this particular match, this is something that was also a bit special. Right now, everybody is playing as the same character, you might notice, and there's ice everywhere. So basically, this started off as an all-Mei run. She's a defensive character. She specializes in slowing, freezing enemies, and creating walls and stuff. Pretty, actually, really strong character if you manage to get somebody one-on-one, because they end up not being able to respond or do anything. Towards the end here, we actually end up getting a little bit, we drift away from this eventually, to be honest, and we end up with a mix of Mei Zenyatta, who is basically a robot guru who throws balls at people and curses them. And I think someone had a Roadhog, who was basically a tank type. Gotta tell you though, this match is ridiculous, completely ridiculous, and amazingly fun. It lasted about 10 minutes or so it wasn't that particularly quick or anything. As you can tell, there was a lot of freezing. But so much ice everywhere. There was a few neat moments in here too, because I didn't realize when I had started doing this that you can actually use these walls as a mean to get up to levels that you normally couldn't. So if you put a wall beneath somebody, they will actually appear at the very top of the wall. I actually end up using that a little bit later. It's pretty neat. I really wish I had recorded more of this particular game while I had the opportunity to, but it just didn't want to work right for me. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and let this play out and leave you here. There's not really any voice communication in this. This was a random group. The fact that we managed to actually get everybody playing Mei was amazing, so I'm not going to complain too much about the lack of team communication. And to be honest, I really didn't help that much with it anyway, since I am not too talkative with people I don't know. It's a failing. Right around here is when we should actually start seeing Zenyatta show up. I actually swapped Tim fairly often. I was just checking and looking at the score, make sure everybody's still Mei. These walls are pretty neat. They can block line of effect for certain attacks if you ever play this. So one of the characters that you can play as is called Diva. She basically has a giant mech suit, and her ultimate ability is basically a self-destruct. It's really devastating, and used right, it recharges the ability to have a mech suit almost immediately. However, it requires line of sight, which Mei can block with the wall, so it's actually a really nice ability to have. And this little thing right there where they froze his ice, that actually heals up Mei and makes her invulnerable for the duration of it. Just like that. I should not have used that. Alright. Oh, and that thing right there that's freezing me is actually Mei's ultimate ability. It's basically an AoE freeze. Well, a more AoE freeze. Alright, so that little purple ball there is the first clue that something was wrong. That was one of the orbs from Zenyatta, as was that gold one. There he is, there in the back right. And And that would be the moment I realized they had other characters. So in a moment, I'm going to actually change heroes to Zenyatta.
Healers now. True self.
Now this guy's pretty neat. He is actually fairly slow. He is fairly squishy too. But what he can do is he can use Orb of Discord. It's on the screen there. It basically curses an enemy. They end up taking more damage when hit. It's actually it's a tank killer move basically. And the other one is the Orb of Harmony, which acts as a heal over time. It can only affect one target with each of these abilities, so you have to make sure that you use them properly. And as you can see, he really is really freaking squishy. But in the way of attacks, he has two types of attacks. He's got a regular quick attack where he just does little punches and you get the little things flying off in the distance. And then he also has a charge up attack where he basically, you can hold it for, I think, a few seconds. And then while you're holding it, the longer you hold it, the more orbs power up. And when you let go, more orbs fire off. You could probably one-shot somebody that was cursed if you had it held up all the way, as long as they're not a tank. So it's pretty impressive. The balancing thing to this is, I don't think you can actually fire off a curse while you're charging it up. And this is actually the first time I've played Zenyatta, so I don't quite know what I'm doing. I ended up actually getting much better with this guy. One of my best matches I played was with actually as a Zenyatta.
Hey, the payload stopped.
Pain is an
Moving the
excellent
payload.
teacher.
Backup requested.
Alright, so right now what we're trying to do as we're playing here, that little outline over there is the payload we're trying to get to the very end. If we're not near it, that thing will actually roll back to a checkpoint. So it won't go past this door here, but it will get back to the very back. And we need to get it to go all the way forward. As long as somebody's near it and they don't have somebody near it, it'll just keep going. So even as we're fighting, it's important that somebody is right next to it and is trying to defend the point.
Adversity is an
And that was the moment I noticed they had yet another Zenyatta. In terms of performance, this game's actually really good. This recorded at 30 frames mostly because I didn't configure the settings right. But other than that, it actually played rather smoothly. I think in game while doing this, I have it at pretty much next to maximum settings, and I was getting a good, decent 78 to 82 frames a second. So I'm quite happy. Oh, and then I died. I should have actually used my ultimate right there. That actually makes me invulnerable and heals my allies around me.
Pain is an excellent teacher.
And they have gone fully robotic, except for one little May. Only real downside to this guy, though, he's just really slow and he's really squishy. The good news is he has shields. Shields regenerate. The bad news is he has very low hit points once those shields are gone. Plus, certain weapons actually just go through shields. For the most part, though, we didn't have anybody that could use that particular type of stuff.
Peace and blessings be upon you all.
And right here I panicked trying to see if I can shoot the little robot there, and the answer is no, because I panicked. I was hoping you could, like, stop the ultimate. We're actually doing pretty good. We got a nice little push right around here. And that is the charge ability. Alright, and that would be the first sighting of a Roadhog. It's a pretty neat tank. He actually doesn't have a lot in the way of, like, defense. He's just really beefy, a lot of hit points. But he has the ability to heal himself fairly often, so it's one of those things. If he can separate your squishier characters from the pack, he will be able to kill them before they can get rid of him. And he's got an ability that basically pulls them to him using a chain.
Adversity is
A really fat,
opportunity for
overweight scorpion.
into the iris.
Alright, there we go. We got a Orbital Harmony on a teammate. This game's actually pretty free with the eliminations and all that for kills and whatnot. As long as you've damaged them, you get credit for a kill. It just tracks finishing blows separately, which is actually a pretty good way to do it.
The path to mastery.
Because you did contribute. It's just there we go.
Iris.
Payloads on the move.
We still have some mains going on here. Plenty of walls. That poor person had like 2 orbs of discord on them.
Into the iris. My path has converged.
Something I've come to find out later is that Zenyatta, the guy we're playing right now, he's actually a fantastic anti-tank character. I mean, he's squishy, he has low hit points. You would think he wouldn't be good for anti-tank, but his curse that you can do absolutely wrecks face when you're put on a really high hit points, not necessarily high defense character. Even for high defense, he can still wreck face, so it's actually really nice to have. I definitely have enjoyed this game, however, and I'm looking forward to being able to play it again. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below, and I will see you next time.